Hello, and welcome to this installment of my series Breaking Free, where I showcase my pain coaching clients that are diagnosed with CRPS and I am working with to move towards remission and a more fulfilling and meaningful pain-free life. This client you've seen in one of my other videos, desensitization, where to begin. And in that video, you might have noticed that it was very hard for her to move her arm. She was having a lot of pain in it, and touching it anywhere below basically the shoulder was extremely painful. We used my desensitization techniques to help her get to a point where she has no problem touching the arm and she can move it much more freely. So much so that despite having CRPS in her right arm and both legs, she is now moving from a wheelchair to an upright walker. So I'm very excited to see how far Christina has come, and I have no doubt that by this summer she will be walking around the house unassisted with no problem at all. The pain will continue to come down, and I will showcase that in an update video as well. For now, I want you to go ahead and meet Christina officially. You can see her go through some of the emotions that this process requires and learn more and more about her pain. I hope this video is helpful for those of you on YouTube that are watching it. And if you see this and you think, oh man, this might be something I would like to do, you can go ahead and go to my website, thewindowpain.com, and click here on this pain coaching button to book a completely free 30-minute consult with me to see if pain coaching is the right fit for you. Additionally, remember, I do offer an 8-week online self-guided program where you see many more videos like this one, as well as you get weekly assignments, tools, handouts, and more to help you move towards remission, just like Christina. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Hello.
Hey, long time no see. I feel like it's been a year.
I know.
How's it going?
It's going okay. Better today. It was a little bit of a rough week, but we
Uh,
made
tell
it through.
tell me about it. What made it rough?
We canceled last week because I was really tired. I would say I did too much, as in I got really, really tired.
Yeah.
That day it was beautiful out, so we have a dock, so we decided to all go out to the dock. So I kind of did like a piggyback princess carry with my dad to the dock,
Yeah.
and then we sat out there for a while. Then we came back inside. I think we did something else, and then we went to the pool. And on average, I've been in the therapy pool for like 30 minutes, so I was feeling good enough, and I stayed in it for an hour, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah. But I came home, got freshened up, and I was feeling really like sick, like nauseous, and like just like the best way I could usually what I explain is like weird. It's just like nauseous and like not myself, kind of like groggy. I noticed the pain kind of picking up a little bit. So my mom was like, you know what, you're just gonna rest. And I like fell asleep really early. And I think I slept till like 11 the next day. So
Yeah.
I needed the sleep. And I thought it would just be like that day and I would like bounce back. But it was like I was still in like a funk the next day. And I noticed like the pain being hard. So I think this is just one of those little bumps that we had to be expected. It's great though. I loved what you said. Like you were like happy that I was doing good enough to do too much, which was a
Yeah.
great different perspective to have. Because I think like in the moment you're just like, oh, why did I do that? Rather than being like, oh yeah, I could do that. So I thought
Yeah.
that helped a lot
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
moment. And
Yeah.
then I think also like emotionally I got like it just kind of like fell on me like a big load. It was just I got really overwhelmed for some reason. I think I was like overthinking and everything like I always do.
Yeah.
I think like I'm not sure if this is everyone, but it's like I was prepared for like a bump or like a downcast moment or spike or however whatever the correct word is, but it still like took me by surprise, right? A little
Sure.
bit.
Yeah.
And another thing that like once I hit that, I was trying to like understand what I was like. mentally going through. And it was interesting. I was just talking with my mom, and I was like, I'm doing so much better, but there's moments where I feel more upset than I was at the beginning because I'm getting better, but I'm still not where I want to be. So it's like I'm moving my hand, but I'm like, I can't do that thing. So I'm like frustrated more so
Yeah.
at moments. And so it was that. And I think I was just like, just down for a little bit, really, really tired. And I honestly, I just rested for a few days. And then because I was resting, I got in my head and I was like, I'm being lazy. And I got like mad at myself. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Like I don't even want to do hand exercises. I don't want to stand. I want to lay down. I was like, gosh, I'm not doing anything. And I was like, okay, why don't we work on the bullet
Bullseye.
bullseye, there you go,
Yeah.
worksheet. So I started working on that a little bit and just like thinking through certain things. And then when it came to like the education stuff, I was like, okay, so what do I want to do? Thinking that through. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can get an associate's. And then I started kind of going down a rabbit hole researching stuff, and I had like a panic attack. It's still very overwhelming for me, which is it's just interesting. I was just like, do this, and then another like laziness kind of moment hit me. I was just like, I was like talking to my mom crying. I was like, I'm done. I was like, I just want to like ship these credits to a different school and get the associates. I'm like, if someone tells me I have to take another class, I don't care. I don't want to do it. That was mainly like in the moment kind of
Yeah.
feeling. And she's like, you know what? We don't have to think about this right now. Like, she's like, think about it. But she's like, you know, nothing's set in stone. But it's just like I had a freak out, and I was just like, I can't even think about this right now.
Yeah.
It's just little things that like I don't think are going to be like a trigger, but are still like I'm like I should be over this by now, but I apparently am not.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you and if you recall, the main thing that I've pointed to as a reason for this, recurrence of symptoms, right, was the pressure of school.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it doesn't surprise me that when you started to think about it again, because for the last while that we've been working together, we've been focusing on the physical rehab
Yeah.
aspects of things.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, these emotions around school, how did your body feel? I know panic attack will make your legs feel like they want to run, your heart racing,
Yeah.
everything's closing in. You're like, but how did your pain feel? What did that feel like?
I think there was like a yeah, spike in pain. I think funnily enough, it was like with the hand especially, probably because that's what like the correlation between the two
Yeah.
causing pain. And then yeah, I would say like because everything kind of feels like it's coming in, I kind of feel I would say the pain felt like everything felt constricted.
Yeah, yeah. You felt, and maybe similar to the way you felt at school because you
Hmm.
had no social life. You were busy studying. You were, using the hand to draw or to write so much. And, yeah, basically your body basically said no, like I'm done. And
Yeah.
and you voiced that to your mom, like I'm done, like send the credits to the moon. Like I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
um and I will say this though, the fact that you had to take some time to think about what the pain felt like in relationship to this panic attack tells me, even though this week was hard, that you're making massive improvement.
Yeah.
Because getting out and talking about these emotions with your mom related to school, especially when you have parents who are engineers and
Yeah.
you were in school to be an engineer, uh,
Yeah.
talking about that to your mom and letting the emotions happen, even if it's a panic attack, um,
Hmm.
that is such an improvement because there's a pressure when it comes to school that we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're letting it out and talking about it prevents it from showing up in your body
Hmm.
in such a
Yeah.
massive way.
Yeah.
So that's good. So, you're probably like, man, I can't, not, anything bad that happens, he says it's good. But, but it's
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
and what was I going to say? you were talking about how I said it's good that it's good that you're able to push yourself to that limit.
Yeah.
There's a quote that I like, and I forget who it's by, but he says, uh, I think it's Jim Rohn, but he says, life is about limits,
Mm,
finding them, exceeding them, and eventually realizing there aren't any at all.
mhm.
And that's kind of the path that you're going down here. And so you went to the pool, you also did the dock thing. I bet if you didn't do the dock part and you went to the pool for 45 minutes instead of an hour, you probably
Yeah.
would have been just fine.
Yeah.
And I also think that the bullseye, which is a big reason I do it, is because I like to see, where we can start to adjust and help things. The bullseye stirs up a lot of emotions for people because
Yeah.
objectively evaluating your life in that way, it can be scary. It can be like, man, I'm really off my target. I don't
Yeah.
even know what my target is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of emotion. So when you were able to calm things down and put that down a bit, did you toy with the ideas anymore? Did you think of things on the bullseye you want to adjust or work towards or forget about?
Well, I think one, well, we have a few positive things coming up, and that happened. It was like coming like, I think it was like social/relationships type stuff. I was like, so I started a Bible study book club with my brother and all
Yeah.
of his friends, and we had a meeting via Zoom. I think it the 28th. Yeah. So that was actually really nice to do and like just get to talk with a bunch of people like outside of the family. Sure, Alex is there, but like talk to different people. So
Yeah.
that was really nice. So that was sort of like part of the bullseye that I was like, I want to like get to meet, know of different people. I'm kind of slightly constricted, like, because I can't just like go up and run around and meet people, but it's like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
But another thing, what was it? Leisure. It in that section, I was like, I want to do like learn fun and creative things. We've been talking about like going to like a painting class. Me and my dad actually signed up to go to
Yes.
one the 7th this week. I think that's Thursday
Yeah.
at I think it's like the painting with a twist. I'll send you a picture of what we're gonna make. It's like a sunset on a beach.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go do that, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
Um, in I guess kind of preparation, but also something that I found to be relaxing and also help me with putting my fingers together.
Yeah.
I'm able to do it a lot better now. Before I didn't even want to touch it. I've
Yeah.
been coloring with my left hand, but like I have this hand holding the paper down and like having the fingers touch, and I'm able to like kind of distract myself. And then like when I'm like hyper focused, I'll like use the hand to like, like shift the paper and stuff like that. So it's a step ahead. This is like one of the drawings. Sophia got me this
Oh, I
like
love it.
little animal coloring book.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, and it's just calming too because I can just sort of like sit down, color for a while, and plus I do feel like it's helping the desensit desensitization, just like kind of slightly being distracted, but like being in a safe space to like be able to hold my hand down, have the fingers touch.
Yes.
So yeah,
Fantastic. This is what you've been great at since the beginning is being intuitive about, these exercises to do. And that is awesome seeing you put the
yeah,
fingers together.
yeah,
And there's not like even when you move, even I don't know if you noticed this, but when you were getting ready for the start the call, even the way you were moving your arm around,
yeah.
I can,
It's
yeah, it's amazing. And I'll tell you what, the biggest thing I notice because you see yourself every single day, right? But I see you week to week.
yeah,
And I'll tell you what, even since the beginning, but even since our last visit, your demeanor has changed quite a bit. Um,
yeah,
when we first met, you've always been very good at showing your pretty smile, right?
yeah,
But when we first met, it was there and it was um I don't know if forced is the right word, but we were putting on the smile, right?
Yeah.
And there was some sadness in your eyes that I could see.
Yeah.
And now at this visit, this is like I think our 14th visit.
Yeah.
Now at this visit, I see, this more generic smile and
Hmm.
this feeling. And in your eyes, I see, some excitement for what's to come. And that's cool,
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I'm so excited to see your painting. I wonder if your dad's gonna go rogue and,
I
make your
know.
painting different or
I know. Oh, there's one more thing that I can't believe it slipped my mind.
yeah.
Me and my friend Katie have been talking, and she's gonna come down in May
Yes.
to visit, and she
Oh,
just got her tickets. So she's coming the 18th through the 26th, so like 7+ days. So that's something really exciting, and I'm looking forward to.
that's amazing. That is May 18th. That's like 2.5 months from now.
Yeah,
You might be in a place where you're walking around the house at that time.
yeah,
I could see that for sure.
yeah,
For sure. Well, that's fantastic. I love that. I love seeing you. That's another cool thing about the bullseye is it says, okay, well then in order to address these things, here's what I got to do. And,
yeah,
and and you're doing it.
yeah.
So that's cool. I love that. How long has it been since you've seen Katie?
In person,
Yeah.
I want to say at least a year.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe a little longer. We've done like FaceTime, so like we've seen each other through that, but it's been a while because she's been busy. She's studying to be a neonatal nurse, and I think she was like at a program over last summer, so I wasn't able to see her. But yeah,
Yeah. That's exciting. That's good. I like that.
yeah,
Okay, so we're taking the bullseye things and we're bringing them in.
yeah.
Outside of the painting, what's the plan for this week?
I think because I took a few days off. I
Yeah.
think it's just kind of picking everything back up, start doing the steps again, walking with the walker, doing hand exercises. I haven't been back to the pool yet. Maybe if we go, no, take it easy,
Yeah, yeah,
not get
first
too
time.
excited.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just like now it's just like okay, now take the breather and move forward, and not really like go fast forward, but just like yeah,
Yeah. Well, and the thing is even you kind of that day that you did the all the stuff, and you ended up feeling overwhelmed in that way or really fatigued. Let's say that was your Olympics in a certain way.
yeah,
And I've said this before, but even Olympic athletes take rest.
yeah,
Um, and actually, believe it or not, if they didn't, if they didn't have those times where they were in a lull and they didn't want to do anything and they just relaxed, they would lose. The gold medalists are the ones that prioritize and build in the rest.
yeah,
And so, maybe that part of this experience was like, okay, like, at certain stages when I'm starting to feel some things, I need a little bit of rest. And when you go back to the pool, what I would suggest is let's do like, instead of 30, let's do 25 minutes.
yeah.
And then over the week, how many times do you go to the pool again during the week?
We before I had to take a break. I was doing every other day, give
Okay.
or take.
So what we'll do is we'll do, 25 minutes to start. If that goes well, 30. And then if that goes well, we can even go to 35.
Okay.
And so that's 3 times in the week. And, that way you're starting to ramp up. I
Yeah.
have no doubt that if you follow that, for next week, and then the next week we do 35, 40, 45,
Hmm.
I have no doubt that you could be consistently at 45 from there.
Okay.
Um, and so that'll be good. And then, yeah, with the walker, stay the course.
Yeah.
And when you get confident, as you start to feel your legs more in a good way.
Yeah.
Um, we might go to what it's funny because it's what toddlers do, but it's called surfing. And that's where you surf using the furniture. Like if toddlers that can't walk, they'll sit
Yeah.
on the furniture and like, go across like that with their hands.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that would be the next step to feel
Okay.
confident moving around. So maybe like when you're moving around the house, you use the walker to get to the living room, and then you step out of it, use the couch to get to the kitchen, and then the kitchen, you move around like that, and then back to the walker.
Yeah.
That's the next step. And let's make it our goal. Why not? possible goal that when Katie gets here, we're at least walking around the house.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
Yeah.
So, wow, this is so cool. Even after a hard week, um, you've come such a long way for real. So it's
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
No, and I just have to like mention this again. It's like every time I have like a little bump, I have like oh, like this time I wasn't even like nervous to come and talk to you because you've like just reassured me so much. But again, even today, like I have like because of the past and the past PTs I've had like that fear that like I'm like I quote unquote, failed for not being able to complete what was set out to do throughout the week. But
Yeah.
it's like just like yeah, thank you so much.
Of
It's
course.
it's been yeah, amazing and just like coming in and feeling cared for and understood and just being able to take a step back from the PT and be like, let's just, talk it through.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. Yeah.
Of course, I hope that in the future, as PT evolves and I lecture at certain universities and stuff like that, less and less people have that kind of experience that you had a few times, and more people find a PT who remembers that physical therapy is two words. It's not just physical. There's a second half. It's the therapy half.
Yeah.
Um, and in order to be a whole human, which you are, Christina, we have to pay attention to both, and so yeah, you knew from the beginning you never fail with me as long as we're trying, which you've always tried amazingly. It's been good. And I've used actually ideas you've given me with other clients. So
It's
you've helped other
awesome.
people. But yeah, this is great. So you have to send me a picture of your picture, even if it's bad.
Of
If you think it's
course.
bad, it'll never be bad. So you have to do that. You let me know how the pool is going.
Okay.
Um, Bullseye. Did you go through all of it, or did you get the first half done, or what
I
happened?
got like the first half. As soon as I complete that, I'll send that over to you.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Actually, most of my clients do that where they'll do the first half and then that second half, which is like what I'm gonna do in action for it, they'll do that. Now, if you start to feel, some feelings about the school stuff when you start to go for that half, you might not be ready to say what your plan is for that yet, and that's okay. It's not a race.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I switched majors a few times. I failed a lot of classes, and I'm still here. Um,
Exactly.
so if you feel like instead of writing, what you're going to do about it, if you want in that space to identify the emotions you're feeling about it,
Okay.
you could just write down like I feel really anxious, overwhelmed, I
Okay.
feel confused, frustrated. I'd be cool with that.
Okay.
Because a big part of this is our body will feel the emotions for us. That's why we
Mm-hmm.
have the panic attack. That's the emotion.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the pain sometimes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so if you can identify those, it makes them less scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Did I do
agree.
did I do the dirty laundry in the corner analogy with you?
I don't think so.
So emotions, we can really embody them, right? So anger, for example, if you're really angry, like imagine how you look, right? You have your fist balled, your
Yeah.
your muscles are tense. You are anger.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're at the airport and someone's flight is delayed and you see a couple
Mm-hmm.
arguing
Yeah.
and they're angry, then you're just watching the anger.
You're
And
observing it. Yeah.
and you might even be giggling, you know,
Hmm.
um, at their expense. But it's still kind of funny because like you guys, there's nothing you can do about it. Why are you yelling at each other? Why are you yelling at the flight attendant, right?
Yeah.
So they're embodying anger instead, and you're the observer, and that's not threatening. So these emotions that you feel, and why we have this a panic attack is because it's scary to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can do it in a controlled way, it's just like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you see something in the corner and you think it's
Hmm.
the sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah.
But when you turn on the light, it's literally just the laundry you've put off stacked in a pile and it looks like a demon.
Yeah.
Okay, so observing, just like we did have done with our physical sensations,
Hmm.
let's extend that to our emotional experience.
Okay.
The more we observe our emotions, the less they need to be felt in our body. And I think you're going to be surprised as we observe these emotions and turn towards them. I think your pain will come down even more.
Yeah.
I've
That's
seen it happen.
awesome. No, I think. for me, I think that is it. And it might be just for a lot of people with CRPS that I think I am one with emotions and with the pain to just sort of like feel it and kind of just like push it aside or not want to observe it, right?
Yeah.
And then it ends up building up.
Yeah. Your right hand's your dominant hand, right?
hmm
Okay. When you push something, what do you use to push it?
My like currently my left hand,
Well, yeah, but normally, like if we were just fine, when we push something aside, what do we use?
our dominant hand.
Our hand, yeah. And so these phrases are things I often hear. So when someone says I just push it aside or I just push it down or it was too much for me to handle,
hmm
I often find that the CRPS feeling is in their hands. Uh,
Mm.
when someone says something like I couldn't find my footing or or I
That's
didn't,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Or if they say I had a lot on my plate, they'll feel it up in their jaw because you eat things
That's
on your plate.
crazy. Yeah.
So a lot of CRPS, in my belief, your body is very strong and resilient, and you're proving that with your pool activity, starting to get up out of the wheelchair and use the walker. Um, a lot of this is the weight of emotions that we carry. If you
hmm
carry something heavy, like the pressure of becoming an engineer for a
hmm
long time, not only do our arms get tired, but what else gets tired? If I hold this chair on my shoulders for a long time, what's the next thing that's going to get tired while I walk?
Your shoulder, if you're walking, well, it's going to be like shoulder, back, legs, feet.
Exactly. Exactly. So a lot of people will say when you're overwhelmed with emotion or someone is, have you ever heard someone go to someone and say, I can't carry this anymore?
Oh yeah.
So that phrase, that's a big phrase in our culture, along with you get on my nerves,
Yeah.
you're on my last nerve, you know.
hmm
So pay attention as these weeks go forward now that we're getting back to the physical stuff. I think you're going to keep doing great with that. When you start to feel that pain, I want you to pay attention also to these emotions. See if we can observe them.
Yeah.
Observe instead of embody. That's the goal.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So, yeah, this week, uh, finishing up the bullseye, observing the emotions, and continuing your pool and exercises with the walker. And we're going to make Katie's visit a goal for us functionally.
Yes.
Okay. And remember, if it doesn't happen by the time she's here, you're never failing. Okay. By the time she's here, you're definitely gonna be closer to it, at least.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Um, people probably want an update a little bit of where you've been at, the people that saw you in the desensitization video.
Okay.
I'd love to share this session where we talked about all this stuff on YouTube, but also in the course, the CRPS course. Um,
Yeah.
would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay. I'm super stoked. Um, nice. Okay. What's the plan for the rest of the night?
Just relaxing. Probably gonna have some dinner. My mom told me about this cute movie about a man and an otter that I think
Uh-huh.
we're gonna watch tonight.
Nice. I've never heard that. Do you know the name?
Billy and Molly?
Okay, I might have to hold on, let me look that up, but I might have to
Yeah.
watch that. Maybe I'll suggest it to my dad. He's always wanted to hang out.
Yeah, and then what
Oh, I
else?
see. An otter love story.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that octopus uh
Yeah.
show too. All right, yeah, I'm gonna watch this.
My mom was like, she was like, it made me cry. I was like, okay.
That's what we need. We need to cry. That's good.
More emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling
Go ahead.
feelings are meant to be felt. Okay, that's
Mhm.
why they're called feelings. And so sometimes our body feels it for us. So if Otter movie makes you cry, cry hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. How's your mom and your dad doing?
They're good. Actually, mom's eh, words visiting my sister.
Okay.
So they're just hanging out. Sophia's on spring break, so they just wanted to hang out for a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm with dad, so we kind of have time to ourselves and get to do the painting class together. So yeah.
that's cool. I like that. Very good. Okay. Well, I think that's good unless you have some questions or concerns or mean words.
No, I think I'm good. Thank you so much.
Of course, and again, even in this week where we had to take some rest and we had this happen, you did fantastic. You've got good plans that you've kind of formed yourself, which is great. And I'll let you keep taking the reins, okay?
All right. Thank
All right.
you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.